Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. This video is going to be my biggest haul yet. So we have all in all 23 titles to show. 10 of them are charity shop pickups, they're all DVDs because they didn't have any Blu-rays. And the other 13 are all Blu-rays that I got this morning from CEX. In regards to the synopsis of each film, I will go into some, I won't go into others, depending on what the film is, and I'll be as brief as I can. So with that said, let's get into it. So first off, we have, these were all 5 for £1, so I got 10 obviously, but this one is Sweet November, starring Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron. As you all know, I'm a fan of romantic films, and I remember really liking this when I watched it. And it's basically about like a career-driven man who loses his job and loses his girlfriend, and he meets this girl who basically says to him, "Come and live with me for 1 month," which is the month of November, hence the title, because she wants to try and change his life. And that is basically the long and short of what it's about. And it's a really good film. I remember really enjoying this, so I'm glad to have this now on DVD. Next up is a classic directed by Danny Boyle, and that is The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm going to be very brief with this, and I will just say it's about a beach where a certain amount of people go, and it's Leonardo DiCaprio is an American backpacker, I believe it's in Thailand, and he goes and just has a fun time, let's say. So yeah, it's a good thriller, and I remember really enjoying it. Next up is a film that I knew nothing about. I picked it up because it has Diane Keaton in it, and it looked like it was from the 80s, so I thought maybe it was going to be a good film, and I watched it last night, and it was. It was better than I expected it to be. The only problem was the picture. It was in a square box, so it didn't fill up the whole of the screen, which was quite annoying, but I got past that, and that is Baby Boom. And Diane Keaton basically plays like a lawyer, and she's very hardworking. She's trying to get up the ladder when all of a sudden she sort of inherits this young baby, and she doesn't know what to do with it. She doesn't know how to look after a baby. Slowly, she starts to mother the baby, take her in, and raise her as her own. And that's where I'll leave the synopsis. It was really good, really funny, and it was just a nice, sweet film that I would recommend watching. So next up we have a film starring Julia Roberts. I know this has got a Blu-ray release, but I've not seen it, and I wanted to try it out. And for the 20p, I thought couldn't really go wrong, and that is Sleeping with the Enemy. As I said, starring Julia Roberts. Don't know anything about this. I believe she plays a woman who's got an abusive husband, and she fakes her own death, and goes and starts a new life, but he finds out that she's not really dead and comes looking for her. I believe that's what it's about. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, looking forward to watching that. Next up is the film starring Michael Douglas. Don't say a word. This looked like a good thriller. I've seen this on Amazon Prime. I've never watched it, but I thought, again, for 20p, I would pick it up. It's about a psychiatrist who wakes up to find his young daughter is missing, and there's a surveillance um, thing in his house by a bunch of criminals, basically trying to get him to extract information from this girl who has information about money, I think, stuck in her head. I'm not really sure, and he has to. He's basically, otherwise his daughter gets killed if he doesn't get the information that they want from the girl. So yeah, sounds really interesting. Sounds really good. So I look forward to watching that. Next up is another one that I know is on Blu-ray, but it's one I've been wanting to watch for years, and again for 20p, and all of these discs are in pretty good condition. I thought I'd get it, and that's Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves. Obviously, he plays a soldier who goes basically to bring both their worlds together, the Indians and the Americans, and yeah, it's an epic apparently, 3 hours long, so I will get around to watching that at some point. Looking forward to watching that one. Next up is one that I've heard good things about, starring Don Cheadle, Sophie Okonido, I think is how you say her name, something like that, and Nick Nolte, and that is Hotel Rwanda, um, based on a true story. When Rwanda was under war, and I think he owns, or he's got something to do with this hotel where all these people live, or where they will come, and then the army's protecting it, but they can't at some point, and then they all come and try and attack the hotel. I believe that's what it's about. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I've not seen it, so I don't really know, but I got it because I'd heard it was a good film and because of the cast. So, yeah. And next up, we have A Walk to Remember, another romantic one with Mandy Moore and Shane West from the director of Hairspray, Adam Shankman. Yeah, don't know anything about it. I believe I have seen the trailer for this, but I can't really remember much from it. But again, as with all of these for 20p, definitely had to pick it up to give it a go. And these last two, surprisingly enough, were both still sealed. Again, they were in the 5 for £1, so I picked them up. I've seen one of them, I haven't seen the other. This one I haven't seen, and that's What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. It's like a Hitchcockian thriller, I believe, like a supernatural thriller, from director Robert Zemeckis, who is my favourite director. He's done some of my favourite films, including my favourite film, Forrest Gump, so I thought I'd definitely get this. I know this hasn't, I believe, got a Blu-ray release, so I was happy to find this up still sealed in that offer, so I'll be giving this a watch soon. And this one is one that wasn't well received when it came out. It's got a great cast. I watched it at the end of last year and I thought it was still pretty good. It's under an hour and a half, so I thought, again, it was sealed for 20p. I may watch this again in the future. It's got some of my favourite actors in it, and that is Lines for Lives with Robert Redford, Meryl Streep, and Tom Cruise. Yes, like an action drama, political thriller sort of thing. But it was really good from what I remember. So, yeah, happy to have that. So that is all my charity shop pickups. Have you got any of them? Do you not still not know anything about them? Do you want further thoughts on any of the films? There's only 3 there, I think, that I've seen already. But yeah, let me know in the comments anything about those. I'll get back to anyone that takes the time to comment. And next up, we have these 13 Blu-rays that I got today from CX. We'll start off with the cheap ones and work our way up to the most expensive ones. First off, for 50p, I got Bad Teacher. I haven't seen this, but I've been wanting to watch this for a long time. Got a really good cast. It's from the director of the last 2 Jumanji films. Yeah, and it looks like a good, funny comedy, so I had to get that one. Next up, this one came with a slipcover, was also 50p. I went to the cinema to watch this and really liked it. And that was Viceroy's House with Hugh Bonneville and Gillian Anderson. So yeah, happy to have this to rewatch again. It's basically about the end of the last Viceroy, basically, when India gains independence. Is in the last few weeks. Lord and Lady Mountbatten, played by these two. So, yeah, really good film, really like that. And now these ones were £1. Another Cameron Diaz one, and Tom Cruise, Night and Day. I remember really liking this. Obviously, it's directed by James Mangold, who's done Logan. He's doing the new Indiana Jones. He did Le Mans 66. So, yeah, happy to have this to rewatch again soon. It's like an action thriller, kind of. More of an action adventure, I would say. But yeah, it's a bit of a cat and mouse chase from what I remember. Next up is a really funny film. I've seen this twice now, and I was happy to get this with a slipcover for £1. And that is The Love Punch, starring Emma Thompson, Pierce Brosnan, Celia Imrie, and Timothy Spall. And it's basically about a divorced couple here. The kids are grown up, and they're brought together again when I believe it's a necklace, or a nest egg rather, is basically stolen by a French bloke who wants to buy his fiancée a $10 million diamond. So they both begrudgingly agree to go to France to try and get back their diamond. Well, because the diamond, I think the nest egg's been sold, and he's bought a diamond, so they want to steal the diamond because it's technically theirs. And then their 2 friends, Celia Imrie and Timothy Spall, come along, and they are hilarious in the film. They have really good chemistry together, and it's just a really good film. And I will watch it again soon because it's been a while, and it's just a really good film. Next up is A Guilty Pleasure, starring Adam Sandler, who personally I like. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I've seen most from what I've seen of his films, like 51st Dates, this, Bedtime Stories, Reign Over Me, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, the list goes on. Just Go With It. They're all films that I really enjoyed, thought were really funny. I thought this was a really good family film, and that's Click. Also stars Kate Beckinsale and Christopher Walken. Obviously, it's about a workaholic. He goes in, buys a universal remote, but he can fast forward through his life, pause his life, and it's all about him going backwards and forwards through his life. And it's really good, really funny, and it's just a nice film. Quite underrated, I think, but some people might not even like it, but I do personally. Next up is a Clint Eastwood film starring Angelina Jolie and John Malkovich, based on a true story, and that's Changeling. I believe this is about a young mother that goes to work one day, and when she comes home, she finds that her young baby boy has been kidnapped. He's missing, and then a few years later, 5 months later actually, they get reunited, but all isn't as it seems because it isn't her son, but they're all claiming that it is, and they're saying that she's crazy, and yeah, sounds really good. So I'm really glad to have this because I really want to watch this. So for £1, that was great to pick up. This one, I believe personally, this is Tommy Lee Jones' best performance. It's his best film. It's from the director of Crash, also starring Charlize Theron and Susan Sarandon, and that is In the Valley of Elah. It's about a old ex like U.S. Marine, and his son was serving in Baghdad, and he's just come home to the training ground. But he gets a call saying that his son's missing, so he drives down to the training ground to try and find out what has happened to his son. And the army don't want to know anything about it. They don't want to help him because they think he's just gone AWOL. So he gets the help of this cop played by Charlize Theron to try and find out what's happened to his son. And it's just a really good thriller. Really, really enjoyed it. And as I said, I think it is personally Tommy Lee Jones' best performance. I don't know if he was nominated for an Oscar for this because this was the same year as No Country for Old Men, so he may have been nominated for that instead of this. But I think this definitely deserved an Oscar nomination because it is a great film. Next up is a sequel. I haven't got the first one, but at £1, I thought whilst it's there, I should get it, and that is National Treasure 2: Book of Secrets. I've seen both of these a long time ago, but I thought, as I said, for £1, even though I haven't got the first one, I better get this while I could. I may find the first one later on down the road, so then I can rewatch them both again. But I remember as a kid really liking these because I like these sort of adventure films. Obviously, this stars, as you can see from the front, Nicolas Cage, but it also has a great cast. It's got, let me read if I remember, Jon Voight, Harvey Keitel, Ed Harris, Diane Kruger, Justin Bartha, Bruce Greenwood, and Helen Mirren. What a great cast. So yeah, really looking forward to rewatching this soon. And now we're into the £1.50 ones. I've got two £1.50 ones. This is obviously based on a true story. Whilst I've never been a fan of Apple. I'm still interested in this man's story, and that is Steve Jobs, starring Michael Fassbender, Kate Winslet, Seth Rogen, and Jeff Daniels. So yeah, as I say, I'm more of an Android person, but I'm still interested in looking at his life because I've heard it was very interesting. Also, I've had to get this because it was directed by Danny Boyle, who's a fantastic director, and written by my favourite screenwriter, Aaron Sorkin. So definitely had to get this. This is high on my watch list, so I will be watching this soon. Next up is a film I went to the cinema to see again. It's got a great cast. Not everyone's type of film, but it's a comedy. It's primarily old people. It's probably more aimed at old people, but I found it pretty funny and enjoyable. This stars Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, Mary Steenburgen, Don Johnson, Craig T. Nelson, Andy Garcia, and Richard Dreyfuss. What a cast! And it is Book Club, about a group of old people that have a book club and they decide to start reading 50 Shades of Grey. I know it sounds crap. It's not. It's really funny because then they change their lives and get new romances, and it's a really funny film, and I really like this. Happy to get this to £1.50. I would have liked it with a slipcover, but I'm not too bothered. Maybe I'll find one down the road, but yeah, really good film from what I remember. Liked it a lot. And then the last three, this one was £2. Happy to get this because it's basically £1 for each film. And that's Night at the Museum 1 and 2. I love all three of these films. They're all just as good as each other. I'm glad to own the first two. I will look out for the third one. So now I already have the third one on DVD, so I still have it technically, but I want to upgrade it to Blu-ray. But yeah, I want to rewatch these ASAP because I remember really liking these as a kid. So yeah, and it comes with, it's in a weird case. Let me get it open. It comes with the Blu-ray for the first one, DVD for the first one, Blu-ray for the second one, and DVD for the second one. So yeah, Night at the Museum 1 and 2, happy to have them. And the second to last one, these were both £4. I've never seen this, I've heard it's a cult classic. It's Bruce Lee's final film, and that is Enter the Dragon. Really want to watch this because I've heard really good things about it. And for £4 I couldn't pass on it. So yeah, really, really happy to have this. And the final film, which is maybe the best of all of these. I mean, they're all pretty great, but I've never seen this. I've heard fantastic things about this. I probably will watch this today because it's not too long either. And this stars Michael Caine and Noel Coward, and it's from 1969, and it's The Italian Job. Got some classic lines from this film. It's just a classic film all around. Really looking forward to watching this because I've heard, as I said, great things about it. So yeah, that is The Italian Job. So that is everything I got this week. 23, I know it was a lot, but somehow I think this video is shorter than last week's. I know, but anyway, let's do a pan to show everything I got, like I usually do. Hang on, don't want to drop this. So we have that is everything I got this week. So don't know if there'll be as many next week. I mean, I've already got a list for CX next week, and it's the same amount of Blu-rays I got this week. It all depends if I get to the charity shop again this week. If so, then I may have just as much as this week, even though I've got less money. But who knows? Just have to wait and see. But yeah, very happy to have every single one of those titles, and I will be watching as many as I can as soon as possible. If you've seen any of these, or if you want to know more of my thoughts on any of these, let me know in the comments. Or just let me know anything in the comments. I'll get back to everyone if I can, but I will still show that I have read the comment by giving it a heart. Also, don't forget to like the video if you did like this particular video. If you didn't for some reason like this video, you can dislike it, but if you do choose to dislike the video, I would appreciate it if you let me know in the comments why you dislike the video so I can try and improve it on my next video. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and turn the notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded. And that is it for today. I may have some more videos up maybe today or tomorrow because I know there's a few new competitions, so I may have some competition entries. I know they don't really get watched, but I thought I'd let everyone know. But that is it for today, so until next time, take care everyone, goodbye.